LGBTQ book recommendation on my channel. And as you know, I love my comic books. This one is one of the most beautiful ones I own. I mean, look at that stunning cover. This is NPC Tea. It's the first collected volume, and it's by the wonderfully talented artist and writer Sarah Millman. It was described in a lot of the reviews that I read before. I very luckily bought one of these as a love letter to Lord of the Rings, and if you're a gamer, to Final Fantasy. And it couldn't be closer to the truth. It's absolutely wonderful. It tells the story of a little tea shop in Cardiff when Hannah just randomly stumbles into the place, and she soon finds out that it is run by an immortal fire spirit and an extremely stressed out elf. Now, as with most fantasy books, although this one is set in our world, so to speak, there is a massive dark power threatening to destroy the city. As isn't that always the case, let's be honest. But the thing with this one is that it doesn't just use that trope and grind it into the ground. It doesn't do that at all. It makes it into a wonderfully unique, wonderfully emotional, caring story with characters that you will grow to love. You'll want to know more about them. You'll care about their journey all through the collection. And it is just so wonderfully written that you can honestly feel like you're there with them. And one of the things that makes this, for me personally, so unique is the way Millman shows the different places and the different emotions in the story, but completely changing the colours of the pages. For example, here you got a greeny bluey hue to the pages, but then later on in the book it changes to that. Now there is a reason for that in the story, however I don't like spoilers at all, so I'm not going to give them. However, there are some wonderfully heartfelt moments in the story that can really stay with you long after you finished reading it. And the sort of heartfelt moments in the story where you will keep coming back to this and you will keep finding new things to love about the characters, new things to love about the story itself, and you will end this collection wanting a lot more. Now, one of the things I absolutely loved, and obviously one of the main reasons why I have included it for the channel for the LGBTQ recommendations, is that just its representation of the LGBT community is just so beautifully done and feels realistic. It feels like a love letter to the community, like with how the characters are written, how the characters are drawn, and while it's set in a world of magic, it just feels utterly realistic and just heartfelt and hopeful. And that is something that I've always found to be sorely missing from the fantasy genre itself, as well as in the comic book world. Now, another thing I liked is it wasn't one of those overly long or overly self-indulgent fantasy stories. Instead, it's just a love letter, and boy, I seem to be saying that a lot. It's just a love letter to the genre, but also to the joy of just going to a lovely, small, local tea shop, which I personally love doing myself. Now, this is one of those types of books that you will read again and again and again, and I've already said that, but hopefully that will put forward just how amazingly great this book is. Now, it's available from Sarah Millman's Etsy shop, and it is well worth getting. So if you can, if you bear with me, I'm just calling up her shop, at their shop now. Yes, it's still available, and you can just type it into Etsy, the title, and you'll find lots of work by Sarah Millman. Her shop is called Milmo Comics, MILMOCOMICS, and it's well worth getting. And also, if you can, get some of her art as well. Honestly, you will not be sorry for getting this. It's absolutely wonderful. I sound a bit like a fanboy there, don't I? But there we go. Ironic, considering I'm non-binary. However, that's it for this episode. Hope you love it. And once again, go by NPC Tea, Volume 1 from Sarah Millman at her Etsy shop called Milmo Comics. Ta-ta for now.